In this corner, we have some kind of Porsche gathering, and I will now share several interesting facts with you. First of all, our favorite little tidbit about air filters. The air filter housing in this car is located approximately, let me show you right here. Air is collected in it on the Turbo S version from two parts. First of all, right here through the wing, through the air intake. This is actually a distinctive feature of the Turbo S model. And the second flow is taken through this little cap and through this intercooler cap. The air comes from here. At the quarries, only from the top, so the filters at the quarries hardly get dirty, but the turbocharger doesn't get enough air through this hole. In the car that came to us for diagnostics, with a lot of unclear tricks, the owner wanted to figure out what was happening with the car. There is a zero filter. This is from the company KN. It looks impeccable from the inside on the engine side. There is absolutely no hint of dirt, dust, and so on. However, on the outside, it already looks quite unappealing. So I think that overall this filter shouldn't be washed anymore because the mesh has some damage. Well, here it is dirty, but here it is clean. This means the filter performed well. And on the inner surface behind the filter, there is absolutely no dust buildup. This specific filter can be used, and its service interval has not yet been exceeded. But under the hood of this car, we encounter a completely wild modification. First of all, there is a CSF intercooler here. Well, that's somewhat acceptable because it has a decent core, although the shape of the tanks is far from optimal, and it's not the best intercooler on the market. But here we are greeted by this kind of blow-off ATL, which is absolutely absurd on a car with such advanced management. There are two small electronic valves here. There was no place to put a large one, so they are electronic, and there are two of them. And the air should be released from them into the space after the filter before the turbo, successfully. The holes that release air are blocked, and the air that should be drawn from the filters is actually being sucked from under the hood. I would like to see the face of the person who did this and ask him one question. Why? If you are watching us, well, answer in the comments and you can use an anonymous account. As for the rest, I suggest just making a guess about how the logic could lead to doing this on a 992 Turbo S, which is not equipped with non-standard turbos without VGT, like some drag racing story or records for half a mile. And overall, the car is actually somewhat stock, with some light tuning, but with this beautiful red high-quality thing that has no place here, in the most visible spot. The carrot orange Porsche has come to us for the second time. We handed it over to the owner about a month and a half ago so he could start driving in the season, and we warned him, bro, you still need to add an intercooler to this setup. The person got behind the wheel, was filled with the dynamics of this car, and sent it back during his vacation for us to install the newly purchased intercooler. This is a solution from Do88, a Swedish company that has been making some very good stuff for Porsche lately. And here we have a very strong difference in the tank shape from that cult one we saw next door. And the core makes me more happy than disappointed. And plus, from the tests we saw with our